All right. Came here a little bit earlier. I was going to say, can everyone hear me for the people who are here right now? Hey, Sam. Um, Thank you, man. I'm glad to hear that some good people are here. Can everyone hear me pretty well? I feel like this is a completely new spot. So I'm trying to test the waters here a little bit here. Don't know if anyone can hear me right now while I'm doing this, but welcome to the live stream for everything. Sweet. Hollow Notes can hear, and welcome, buddy. And thank you guys for coming in. And there's Bernardo. Yeah, hey man, Movie Geek is here. Everyone who is here, I want to say thank you so much. I'm going to say this probably a million times, so we're going to let people kind of come in right now. But yeah, let's just talk for a second. How's everyone doing today on a Saturday? Um, there is R1133. Nice to see you. Um, how's everyone doing today on a Saturday? It looks like Ryan is here as well. We're disconnected. Thank you so much. So is David, Film Collector Archive. We got a lot of good friends here. All right, what should I? Somebody spitball something at me. Hey, I thought that was Ronnie. I thought so. Yeah. How are you doing? And then thank you for the Criterion Closet thing. This thing is really cool. I like it a lot, but there's a lot of really cool things in here. But it's a limited space, but I like it. I finally got a picture. You can't see it really that well, probably. I was gonna say, anyone see that Pan's Labyrinth poster right there? Kind of. Anyway, let's just jump back in here. Let me make that a little bit better. Looks like I'm popping in. Mary says hi. Hey. David asks, what favorite film you watched this week? Oh, that's a tough one. Got to look at my letterbox real quick for things that I've been watching this week. I feel like it's been up and down. And honestly, it's been a good time, though. I finally watched Pearl for the first time, which I quite enjoyed. I liked X more, but I'm excited to kind of see where it goes for the last movie that's coming out. And I was also able to see the new Ant-Man and Quantumanium, Ant-Man and Wasp. Saw that a couple nights ago. That was a lot of fun. So it's not 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's wild to me that people are that hard against it. I think it's very strange that people are that it's a standard Marvel movie, but like calm down. It's not 48%. Anywho, let's see. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate it. I really like the closets. It's nice and spacious. Josh, I think I'm saying your name right. I hope so. Is saying, did you watch Last of Us? Yes, I've been following up with Last of Us. I really, really love it so far. I think it's excellent TV. I think it's episode 3 was fantastic and it's like only gotten better. Like it just keeps getting better. So I'm very excited about it. I have not played the game myself because I don't really game. I just don't have time. But I've heard good things from people who have played the game, so they like it a lot. Bernie's saying, "Dude's Pan's Labyrinth. I love that film." Yes, that's where I got that picture behind me. It kind of has a glare. I got that from meeting Doug Jones. That's the thing I got signed from him. It was such a fantastic person. He is literally just the most humble person I've met of the celebrities I've met, in which I've only really met one other one outside of that. So anyway, Bernie also rewatched The Artist. Oh, that's a great movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long, long time. So good stuff there. I enjoyed Ant-Man 3. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, there are problems here and there, but it's a fun time. Exactly. Yeah, that's how I see it too. It's definitely it's a fun Marvel movie. That's all it needs to be anymore. I have no expectations here. Andre's here. So, hey, man, it's good seeing you. It's one of my original friends on the platform. So it's always good to see you. Born to be Rad. Hey, man. Yeah, congrats. See you at Panic Fest. I do look like somebody who looks like I'm about to be at a Panic at the Disco thing here. So nice. Thank you, Andre. I enjoy the closet. So if anyone hasn't seen it, here is the closet. And it's all glory. There's Paddington hanging out. If Davey decides to show up, that's my comment for him. Anyway, let's see. I just watched through the Ida Lupino filmmaker collection from Kino this week. Absolutely love it. I need to seek out more of Lupino's work immediately. I have that set too. It's across the bay, but I've been wanting to watch. I have so many things to watch. So that's the next thing is like, what's everyone watching right now? But I'm gonna jump into a question real quick. I don't think Andy is here right now, but there was a couple questions that some people left on my last couple videos that I had here. And the first one I have here is he said, "What's your personal Mount Rushmore for directors and actors?" And then I decided to expand this and doing it directors, actors, actresses, and movie characters. So it's going to be all over the place. So this is all off the top of my head for like right now because it'll change. It changes every day. I feel like the people that I like and the people that I like to pay attention to. But directors, I put Ingmar Bergman for one of my Mount Rushmore directors. I put Guillermo del Toro. I think he is an amazing director and just a good person. I would put Alfred Hitchcock probably up there. I don't watch Hitchcock films very often, but when I do, I get pretty sucked into them, as Hitchcock would do. And then Richard Linklater. Those are kind of just the directors off the top of my head right now in my mind that I would have there. As for actors, I have Colin Farrell, which I know a lot of people are big on that right now. They know that I'm a big Colin Farrell fan. Willem Dafoe, which I've been as maybe a lighthouse character. I really love Sean Bean a lot too. He's one of my favorite actors. And then I put Humphrey Bogart. So that's my classic actor I'd put in there. So he's fantastic. I'm gonna get to the comments in just a second. Almost done with this Mount Rushmore stuff. For actresses, because I wanted to split it and have more options, honestly. But I would put Lauren Bacall there as well, since I also put Humphrey Bogart. I just love the two together, but I also love them separate as well. Like Lauren Bacall is just fantastic in everything I've seen her in. Another classic actress that I really like is Rita Hayworth. Gilda is one of the sole reasons why I would put her on this list, but like she's fantastic as well. And I've been wanting to watch more Rita Hayworth. Ida Lupino would also be a really good option. I know David would say that too. Then modern actresses, I would say Cate Blanchett is one. Tar, she was phenomenal in, but I've loved her ever since I saw her in Lord of the Rings back in 2001. So, and I know she's been around for a lot of other things, and she's fantastic. Tilda Swinton as well. She's also fantastic, and I think she just keeps getting better and better in everything she puts herself in. And then the last thing I would say on this, and then we'll jump back into the comments, is movie characters. And I really thought about like, should I pick like Darth Vader and like actual like movie characters, like my mind's blanking right now as I'm thinking of it, like thinking like Aragorn or something, or some character in Jaws. There's a lot, but I decided to go a silly route. So I said Paddington is who I'd choose right here. Paddington. So this guy right here. I'd put Paddington here, and then I would also say Black Phillip. He would be really fantastic on my Mount Rushmore. And then I would even put Pan, since I just met Doug Jones. So, and then I'd also say the creature from The Thing, which really has no form. So I don't know what they would put on the Mount Rushmore if they did a Thing character. But it'd be probably like the snowman with just a couple of antennas coming out. I don't know. Anyway, back to the comments right here. So Sam said, Radiance films have not really caught my attention. I'm 4 on their releases so far. They are like Criterion meets Indicator. I am super excited to eventually get my Radiance films. Everything is kind of on hold. I haven't got any Radiance films yet. I would love to hear more people talk about what they think of those films. That would be fantastic. I would love to hear more on that. Let's see. Tidbit Kid says, currently slim sleeving my DVDs, doing 50 a day really does save 75% of my space on the shelf. That's great. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because like I feel like space is like a really big thing for a lot of people, and at the same time, like I'm very lucky because I have a dedicated space like in this room to do it. But I feel like whatever we can do to like trim space and then also at the same time be happy with what we have. That's the big, at the end of the day, that's the big thing. So we want to be happy with what we have. So I love that. I love that you're saving some space on the shelf for probably some of the things that you really like the most. Anyway, Bernie says thoughts on the recent Criterion announcement. I'm very much looking forward to getting Thelma and Louise, Wings of Desire, and on 4K and Petite Maman. I actually have Petite Maman on movie, like the movie disc. So I'm probably okay on that, unless there's like something really special that comes with it. But no, I'm excited too. I want to. I think out of the films that I'm excited about, it's the one with Boris Karloff. It's Targets, probably is the one I'm most excited about, that I really want to see. And then other than that, honestly, like I am excited for Thelma and Louise. I think it's a really good month, and I know that my good friend Elliot made a good video on it too, sharing his thoughts. It's a mixed bag, like the direction of Criterion and what they're doing, but at the same time, I kind of understand just from an economic standpoint, when it comes to kind of having like a mixed bag of popular films and then also putting out films that are less talked about and less paid attention to. So I don't know, I'm for it, so we'll see what happens next. Let's see, other than Spielberg, Del Toro is another idol of mine. Love that dude. Yeah, agreed. Rock music, not forever 90. I saw your video with your Uncle Doug Jones. Yep. He is such a kind person. I don't know if anyone here has met Doug, like at a Comic-Con or anything like that, but like literally the nicest person. And as I was in line, I was noticing that he was very politely like asking like, hey, like when we do a photo, like can we do something funny? And pretty much everyone has said yes. And so like with me, he just like, it's like, let's just mess with your beard. And he just like grabbed my beard, is like, it's like Gucci Gucci Gucci, and that's how he was engaging with me, which is just hilarious. And then also he's like, also since you have a pipe, let's just do a pipe photo too. So he took the pipe that I have for my character, and he's just like, let me just steal it. And so, but yeah, literally like one of the nicest people I've ever met. I talked to him for like 5 minutes about just random things. I honestly can't remember what we talked about, but I'm just so excited that he was there. Right. He was just the nicest person. So highly recommend anyone who is ever going to any kind of Comic-Con or anything. And if you see Doug Jones's name, go meet that guy. He is fantastic and an amazing actor, and not talked about enough. I think he needs to be talked about more. Anyway, I'm very impressed on Radiant's films so far. I've got A Woman Kills, but haven't watched it yet. Well, other people are getting these films. Chris, hey man, greetings, Nathan, and fellow film lovers from Edmonton, Canada. I hope everything is going well, Chris. It's always good to see your face, man. And there's Steph. Hey, friend, congrats on 3K. Love you. I'm glad that Steph stopped by. Tell Kelly and all the puppies I said hello as well. Andre says, I recently watched Miami Blues and A Woman Kills from Radiance and loved both. Great special features, and the booklets are great too. All right, everyone, you need to somehow send over these things to me so I can finally eventually get my Radiance films, and then we'll get there. Let's see, Aaron. Hey, it's my buddy Aaron, my childhood friend Aaron Kelly. Love you too, man. I haven't seen this guy in a long time, but I'm super happy that you're here. So welcome. And Ronnie says, just watched Petite Maman on Hulu this week and loved it. Looking forward to the Criterion release. I'm disappointed there aren't more extras. Yeah, I was going to say I need to take a little bit closer look at that particular release and see what it entails, because I have the movie release. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, right here. I have this release, which is the release I have, which really doesn't have anything else in it. It has a Q&A with Celine Sciamma, and that's literally the only special feature on it. But I really enjoy it. It's a great film, and I'm super excited that Criterion's putting this out too, because this is a Region B release, and so unless you're in the UK, this is kind of the way to get this film. So great movie though. Let's see. I'm gonna knock everything down as we're going through this. Tidbit Kid said, while going through my DVDs and the old pamphlets that come from some TriStar Sony picture releases, I have found so many have gotten a Kino Blu-ray release in those ads ad order sheets. Have you ran across an old advert? It's funny. I actually don't have too many DVDs left, and but when I do run into those kind of things, usually it's when I'm like thrifting or something. If I'm looking at like a shop and I'm seeing discs or something, and I'm seeing stuff like that, it's always fun to see that. And then also at the same time, You know, I don't know if we're kind of spoiled with streaming and Blu-rays because we don't really, unless it's like a studio release, we don't really get like trailers really on the disc itself before like it gets to the pop-up menu. And so I would kind of like to see more of that, or at least like even if it's like a boutique release, like just put some trailers of other things that are coming out. That would be really cool, even if it's like an old movie. Like I think it'd be awesome to you know, see stuff like that a little bit more. But that's just the thought. I don't know what anyone else thinks about that. I think that might just be my thought. Thought the same. Congratulations from Vancouver, British Columbia. Well, my friend Ben is here. Congrats, greetings from Canada. All my Canadians are here, except Ben is not a Canadian. He's posing as one. He just happens to be in Canada. But yeah, I love you, buddy. And then SJS Films or SJS Arts is here. Hey, man, I hope you're doing good. Congrats on the 3K. I appreciate it. And another one of my original friends on the platform. So always great to see you. And I'm glad you're back on YouTube too. And then let's see. David says pre-order is in for Second Sight TCM. I also have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on 4K on pre-order, and I also ordered that Picnic at Hanging Rock 4K. As immediately when that came live, I was so thrilled because I wanted to pick that up as bad as possible. So if anyone doesn't know this film, I'm going to talk about it for a second. This film right here, which is a Criterion, I don't know if this releases are available anymore. I don't remember, but Second Sight is putting this out on 4K, and man, I am so excited about this film because I absolutely adore it. I know Sam and I have talked about it, you know, film blogger Sam here on his podcast, and yeah, it's phenomenal. So check it out if you've not seen this movie, and like go pick it up if you can get it on Criterion. I don't know if you can, but if not, go pick it up from Second Sight because they've been killing it lately. Let's see. Palmer, my friend Palmer's here as well, asking about Ben. It's like, why is he here? Two of my friends in real life that I just don't need to see anymore, you know. I watch films. Ben does not watch films. That's not true. He watches I don't know what he watches. He watches mooses up there. So he's a moose biologist. So don't. Anyway, film blogger Sam, I'm calling it now. Second Sight best label of 2023, just based on what we know coming already. You know, that was actually kind of my thoughts last year. I think that Second Sight blew it out of the park last year. I mean, I'm just looking across the bay at Drive, of course, Tangerine near the end of the year. Dog Soldiers was a really great release. There's just so many great things. Monster came out. I hadn't seen Monster in a long. I've only seen that film at like Walmart, but I had never like picked it up and watched it. So I'm really excited about Second Sight. They've been doing great things. So excited about it too. Let's see. Everyone's agreeing with Sam on Second Sight, so I think we're all going to be there. Looks like my friend Gary's here. Hey man, it's good seeing you. I don't think so. I've only seen standard and non-dual format. Gotcha. Anyway, so I'm going to jump into another little topic that I have from one of my friends, Annalisa. I know she's not in right now, but she asked me about tips for budgeting, which is a really silly question for me because I feel like of all the people who know me pretty well, I'm not good at budgeting. I am very bad at like, oh, I want this. Let me spend some money. Yeah, exactly what Steph's saying. Just throwing money. That's what I do. I just throw money out the window and don't even think about anything else. Honestly, for budgeting, especially when it comes to the current climate of things, I think we need to start thinking a little bit more about what we're picking up because prices are going up on like literally everything. And at the same time, you know, we're curating our collections. And I had this conversation with David, film collector archive, and it was a really good conversation. So I know a lot of people are up and down about it. It just depends on what your situation is. I'm lucky enough to where I have no other person that I have to really be around, like to help support. So it's just me. So I pay my bills, and then if I have extra money, I want to spend it on these things. So I'm very lucky in that regard. So just depends on what everyone's doing. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to cut back a little bit. You know, I want to make sure that I can save up some, right, and not just die with my Blu-rays. But yeah, I probably will die with my Blu-rays. Let's see. Holland Oat says I will not budge. Chris says, I refuse to upgrade. DVDs are perfectly fine for me. That's how I budget. And that's perfectly fine because honestly, I lucked out with DVDs because I only had like a couple of hundred in kind of the late 2000s, early like 2010s. I didn't have much. Like this collection of Blu-rays I have here is like 13 or 14, 15 times bigger than what I had on DVD. And so I was able to switch it out over time. Like, and I was also working at a shop at a record store that also would steadily get in movies, and I would just pay a little bit difference there, and it lucked out, and it worked out to where I could upgrade and not have to like penny pinch about it. So I was very lucky in that regard. But like 4K is a whole nother beast. Like now it's everyone's trying to upgrade to 4K. And for me, it just depends on the movie. And if there's a good deal, I'll get some 4Ks. But if that's the case, like, it just depends on what it is, really. So let's see. Steph says curating is making its way to the conversation recently. I'm trying, but I'm also in the same way. I'm in the same boat as Steph. We're both weak, and we actually enable each other, and that's what's so great about it. Um, anyway, let's see. Bernie says, dude, yes, I can't wait for Picnic on 4K. That edition you're holding is it's out of print. So, yeah, so I'm glad that you own it as well. But yeah, I'm super excited for this film. It's a movie that I feel like is popular, but also is a movie that's not really talked about too often. It's a really fantastic Peter Weir film, and I highly recommend it. Let's see. Tidbit Kid says, if I could redo everything, I would only purchase at the library sales around me. Everything media is like $2, and they have even Criterions. That's awesome. Yeah, I know my friend John, Platex2 isn't here right now, but he is really big into thrifting and has told me about all the pulls he's gotten, and it's just fantastic to see those things. Like library sales and like libraries in general are something that I wish I was around more. I just I think it just depends on what's going on. But I love library sales, and I'm glad that they exist. So that's awesome that you're able to do that. And they have a ton of Blu-rays there too. Ronnie says, I've definitely slowed down my buying the last few months. I have been buying more used Blu-ray DVDs to save. Yeah, that's definitely a good route to have too. And especially if you're able to get that, you have a source where you can get used things. I know that there's things like Facebook Marketplace, and obviously we have communities that we're all a part of that we can swap and trade and sell to each other. But I'm lucky enough to be in a spot where there's a couple of stores still left that have some really good used like Blu-rays that are available. So I'm lucky for in that regard. Tidbit says $300 a year would give you an ability to purchase 150 titles, which is more than enough for entertainment. Yeah, especially with that $2. Yeah, that would be fantastic. I would like the extra $300 a year. It'd probably buy me like 10 movies. Anyway, Aaron says, I feel the need to flex. I slept on this guy's floor and played Age of Mythology and Fire Emblem with this guy. He's going to be a celeb soon. I doubt about the celeb thing, but yes, we played a really good bit of Age of Mythology and Age of Empires. Love those games. If anyone used to play those computer games, those games are so much fun. And then Fire Emblem is like the GOAT. So, I know Davey's not here right now, but he did ask why is Paddington on the shelf? Because over there, you can't see it. I'm going to move the camera real quick. You see over there that bookshelf? Paddington used to sit over there. So now I decided for this stream. So if you're watching this, Davey, if you're watching it later, I have Paddington with me. He's helping me as a somebody who's helping me with questions here. So. But anyway, I know I'm caught up with this. Is there anything else that people kind of want to ask about, even if it's movie or non-movie related? There's a lot of really exciting things to talk about. I know we just talked about budgeting and kind of upgrades and stuff. And there's just a lot of really exciting things going on right now. I know Sam brought up Radiance Films and Second Sight, which are phenomenal companies in the UK. I know that's the reason I brought up, me not getting my Radiance films so far is because of the Royal Mail. That's good. Like they're having strikes right now, and I'm sure some of you might be dealing with some of that. And so, but I hope that that resolves and people are able to get their stuff, and then also the workers are getting able to get paid better. Honestly, because it's. Obviously, as somebody who is being indirectly affected to it, it's not really that bad per se, but at the same time, like I know it disrupts some things, but at the same time, I definitely want people to be taken care of, and I want people to be paid a fair wage for what they do, and so I do hope that things get resolved. So anyway, that's my plea to eventually get Radiance Films over here, and some things going on. So anyway, it looks like Gary's like, yes, I got my cool Paddington bear. Yeah. My friend Daniel's here, Cobwebs channel. Dude, you look like you're in a garbage chute from Star Wars. Yeah. The walls are coming in closer and closer, and eventually I'm going to just die. And I'm going to do it on a live stream right here. Just for your viewing pleasure, everyone. Uh, that's probably against YouTube's guidelines. I don't know. Anyway, Tidbit Kid says currently putting a mortuarium on buying retail and slowly slowed to a creep. But if I were to calculate how much I've spent on media, it would be MSRP of a nice SUV. I don't want to think about how much money I've spent in this. I don't know if any of you watching this want to think about how much money we've spent on this hobby of ours. But I'm glad that we're also passionate about it. It's fantastic to kind of show off to each other what we got. So but anyway, even if it's just us that like it, even our partners sometimes probably roll their eyes at it. So let's see. It looks like Daniel and David are saying hey. Let's see. Newt Shack says, "Hey Nathan, just wanted to say congrats. It's been such a joy to see your channel grow. You're a great stand-up guy. You deserve the growth." I appreciate that. It's been a journey. It's been 6 years on this platform, which is just weird to me to think about how long I've been on here and how much has changed in the last years. I started off, didn't even know what a boutique label was, and I had a pretty decently sized collection, but it just kept growing because of all of you who are here, and then all of the support, and then just the amount of love we're putting into this kind of stuff. That's what I love about it. So it's just wild to me that we're all collecting such unique things that we're all kind of like just our mouths are drooling over. So, but anyway, I really appreciate that, and that comment. I appreciate that. Daniel says, just joining. So have you talked about Quantumanium yet? What are your thoughts? I have talked briefly about it, so I'll give you the rundown. The new Ant-Man movie, I quite enjoyed it. I actually watched it with some friends that I always watch with. We always watch the Marvel movies with on opening night. And we were kind of just thinking yeah, this will probably be fine. And when we watched it, we were pleasantly surprised. It was actually pretty good. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of green screen stuff. Really great character work. I think obviously having Paul Rudd is always fantastic, no matter what it is. And also at the same time, I'm really loving Kang. I think that Kang is going to be a really good character to kind of see fleshed out more and more. And I actually think they gave a lot of really good spotlight to that. And that's probably my biggest sell on this movie is Kang and Paul Rudd. So that's my biggest sell. It's a fun movie. It's definitely not 48%. That's really weird to me that it is that low. Like with even if you're like fatigued out or don't want to watch Marvel movies anymore, like I get that. Like there's a lot of TV shows to follow up with, but like right below a 50%, like the movie's enjoyable. Like calm down. Even if I didn't pay attention to this stuff, I would still have a fun time with it. Anyway, yeah. So then let's see. Paddington hype, very much so. Film blogger Sam says, shut down all the garbage smashers on the detention level. Man. All right. Then Aaron says, dude, I call Poppycock your DVD collection. W collection was the best. So I used to collect. Well, here's the thing. My DVD collection, I didn't have much. I feel like I had a bunch of anime and stuff. Like I had a bunch of Dragon Ball Z stuff. And I had the VHSs and stuff. But with the WWE collection, yes, I did collect some of the DVDs. I had all the WrestleManias and all the Royal Rumbles and pay-per-views. And so, yes, I've always had collecting in my bug. And honestly, a lot of my friends here who've known me my entire life can like shove it down my throat. And I know a lot about WWE for some reason. I haven't followed it in a long, long time, but I have a lot of random things in my head from that time in my life. Davey's here. I can't stick around. Sorry. I wish you all the marmalade sandwiches, but hey, there's Sam. And yes, since you are here, this is for you. Paddington is not off on the shelf anymore, so this is for Davey. So Paddington says hi. And for the marmalade sandwiches. Movie Chat says, I have no heirs. I'm willed my collection to you, my friend. I'm going to have to put it somewhere. I don't know where, but I'll drive all the way over there just to just to see you many many times. You're not going anywhere soon, Steph. So, but I love you. Anyway, let's see. Just reorganized my collection yesterday to specifically make room for more film books. Currently reading We Are the Mutants: The Battle for Hollywood, from Rosemary's Baby to Lethal Weapon. That sounds fantastic. And also, I've also been wanting to put more like movie books in my collection. I don't know if everyone can see this right now, real quick, but on that shelf right there are a few things where I have been putting books on there. It's kind of near the top by the hat, and then also right underneath. But yeah, I've been really kind of trying to collect books more and more film books. So yeah, I feel like it's not talked about as much, in this community because we like to watch movies, right? It's the time we have. Um, Smooth Fox says audience score was 84%. That's on Ant-Man. Yes. So the audience is more right. It's definitely a good movie. It's definitely fun. Let's see. Daniel says, great to hear. I'm very excited to see it. You're going to love it, man. I know you are. So, especially with, the recent tie down, you need an escape. Anyway, Tidbit has noticed so many of our Snapper case DVDs have gotten a Blu-ray release. Yes, Snapper releases. Oh my God. I immediately think of The Matrix every time I think of those things. Yeah, I used to work at a record store, and putting those on the shelves was a bastard to do. I could never. It's always such a pain. So I'm glad those Snapper releases aren't around anymore as much. Let's see, the new Kenshin movie. What's your take? I haven't seen it. I still need to catch up on the last two Kenshin movies. I have them on my shelf, but I am excited to watch it because I love Rurouni Kenshin. Not the creator; he's a psychopath. But the anime really do love. And then let's see, mostly HBO films is what Tidbit Kid says. Yeah. They're all going, like, the Snap releases are on HBO. That's cool. Let's see. Sam says, I know you've been on a Shaw Bros kick at least last year. I cannot recommend Five Element Ninjas more. It's incredible. I am super excited to jump into my Shawscope Volume 2 set. It's not right now. I'm still trying to finish my Ingmar Bergman set. I actually just finished the third to last movie, so I have two more movies left. Technically three, because Fanny and Alexander is technically in two different, like, it's the TV movie and then there's the full version. So I'm going to watch that twice. And then I also have Autumn Sonata. So I am literally almost this close to finishing the Ingmar Bergman set. So we're going to be doing a video on that. I don't necessarily know how I'm going to collectively think about all of those movies. I might just like rank some of them and talk about them as a collective thing. But I'm still wrapping my head around how much I've watched with the Ingmar Bergman set. Anyway, going back to the Shawscope set, yes, I'm very excited to check out more of that in that martial arts world. I'm probably going to do that in spring, probably around May. That's when I did the last Shawscope. So I waited a few months, like I guess like 5 or 6 months after the Shawscope set dropped, because we have so many freaking box sets and things on our shelves. I haven't even seen half of these on here. I've seen the Jim Sheridan box set and the Celine Sciamma box set, and then a couple of these. But anyway, I'm getting off of off topic here, but I'm very excited to check out that film as well. SJS says, a basketball question: which team is going to win the NBA championship this season? I'll be boring and go with the Boston Celtics. My Lakers probably won't even make the playoffs. For basketball right now, it's kind of up in the air. It's kind of hard to tell. I know in the East, Boston is definitely a contender. I think the Bucks are also a contender, of course. And can't really say much else for the East. But in the West, I feel like all those changes that recently just happened, the Suns are going to be probably pretty good. And then I would love to see the Grizzlies or the Pelicans do a little bit better. But it's kind of up in the air, I don't know. I'm excited for the Kings as well. They haven't been good in a long time, like ever really, maybe. And then I want my Pacers to do better, but yeah. Anyway, we're talking about basketball, so I'm all up in the air on that. So anyway, going back to let's see, David saying, plan on diving into the Shaw Brothers in a big way coming very soon, Sam. only grazed the surface of the first set so far. It's such a great set, so I highly recommend those Shawscope sets. I've only seen the first one, but I've seen every bit on there, and it's incredible. I love it. Highly recommend it. My friend Cinema Dave's here, man. How are you? I hope you are doing well. It's been a while. Congrats on the 3K. All the best. All the best to you too, as well, man. I'm glad. I've been enjoying your recent videos and just seeing those new shelves on there as well. I've been liking that. Let's see. Daniel says 5 Element Ninja is a blast. I'm excited to check that out. Now 2 people are talking about it. So Movie Chatter says watched In Bruges 4K last night from Kino. Looks awesome. Thought of you. Have you grabbed it yet? Yes, I have grabbed it. It's over there, and I love it. It looks fantastic. I think that was what I watched on Christmas. That was the movie I watched on Christmas because I wanted to watch something very very me. And so anytime anyone watches In Bruges, I hope everyone here thinks of me. This is the only movie I want to be associated with for no reason. But I love that movie, and yeah, the 4K looks fantastic. I love it. Ronnie says true. Snapper cases are cool, but it's annoying how they always get caught in the cases next to them on the shelf. Agreed. Just it looked cool. Doesn't really, not very practical. SGS says Autumn Sonata is a masterpiece, such a devastatingly beautiful film. Very excited about that. I'm glad that they put 2 of Bergman's notable bests at the end of the entire thing. So I'm very excited to dive into that. Let's see. SGS, my Suns and the Celtics will be in the finals. Yeah. The Suns are taking it. So we'll see. We'll see, David. And then Ronnie says go Celts. Yeah, I kind of want if it's going to be the Celtics and the Suns, I want the Celtics to win. Sorry, buddy. I know that you're in Arizona, so you have a little bit of a stake. But I'm in Missouri, so I have nothing. Would it be would be to see Suns taking it? Also, hope the Grizzlies do well, as Ja Morant has become one of my favorite players to watch. Yeah, Ja is fantastic. I just hope he doesn't get hurt like that. I'm knocking on wood here. Ronnie says I did think of you when the In Bruges 4K was announced. LOL. Yes. Yeah, I got that film like 2 months after it got released. I pre-ordered it, and it just didn't show up. That's how it's feeling with Radiance. It's like I pre-order these things and I'm just like, where is it at? And then I'm seeing all my friends get it, and I'm like, at least with In Bruges, I felt personally attacked. I'm just like, I should have been the first one to get that. But other than that, that's been fun. But yeah, no, I'm excited for all of these different changes coming up in the coming years when it comes to physical media releases. What's everyone excited about when it comes to like this year so far? I know Picnic and Hanging Rock and Texas Chainsaw Massacre was just talked about. I know there are a couple of other big releases that a lot of people in the boutique world are excited about. But I would like to know some of your thoughts. But then also, what other questions you got for me? Any other kind of odds and ends questions, movie related, music related? I have a lot to talk about. I just recently got some more work on my arm. So this is all getting done. I don't know if you can see that, but this is slowly getting done. And so now it'll match this arm right here. That's always been fun, is getting tattoos. Another thing to spend money on, right? Anyway, let's see. Film blogger saying Hitcher is going to be a big one. Yes, I'm excited for the Hitcher as well. That's going to be really, really cool to see that. I haven't seen the Hitcher since really early in my life. So it's going to be fun to just recently watch this. Goose is here. Hey, man. Goose's movies every evening. Nathan, huge congrats on the 3K. Have you managed to leave the closet yet? I feel like I would just set it up and sit in here in camp. Yes, I have left this place. It's fantastic. I love it. And every time I'm in this room, which is the room that everyone knows, right, from my channel and stuff, and there's other movies and stuff. We're all. I leave it sometimes, but it's a great place to be, and I do love this space quite a bit. So let's see. Cinema Dave says, "Do you have a favorite release 2023 so far?" I know it's only February, and I don't really feel like I've gotten anything too new or too special yet. was gonna say I did pick up. It's not in front of me, but it's over there. Disney is doing their 100th anniversary, a thing which is not. It's not the greatest thing in the world because Disney's notorious about their lack of being supporting physical media really. But I did get that Mickey and Minnie's 10 film collection that has like a pin with it. That's really really cool. I've been enjoying that. And that was a lot of fun. I don't know, weirdly enough, like just like watching shorts and then also getting a pin, that was a lot of fun. So that so far is what I would say. Other things coming out, I would say Radiance, but I haven't gotten anything yet. Let's see. Tidbit Kid says, "Are you getting the Bret Hart Wrestling with Shadows Blu-ray?" Was excited, didn't want to pre-order. I might just watch it. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I don't really have wrestling movies anymore or documentaries. I used to. I don't know why it kind of stopped, but like Bret Hart, that's a big name that I spent a lot of time just watching him, and especially of course the Montreal screw job and watching that all come out. So I want to watch it though for sure. Let's see. Film Collector Archives says Hitcher's going to be a release of the year if it gets this year, right? Let's see. Smooth Fox says there's a new In Flames album to check out. Dude, the In Flames album is actually really good. If anyone is a fan of metal, which I am, In Flames is like an old love of mine and a lot of probably people, but I know a lot of people have kind of fell out of love with them. But this new album actually is a nice kind of blend of their newer stuff, as well as their older sound, which I really like. So check out the new In Flames album. It's actually really good. Ronnie says, I'm excited. The Son of the Stars, released by Deaf Crocodile. Mine just shipped. I need to get more Deaf Crocodile films. I only have a few over here. I have The Unknown Man of Shanagor right here. And then I also have The Time-Bending Mysteries of Sharam Mokri right here, which I have not seen. But yeah, I'm excited for more Deaf Crocodile stuff, and more of the Vinegar Syndrome and their partner label stuff. That would be always fun to see. Film blogger Sam, Vinegar Syndrome has a 10 film set coming out this May, trying to get their 10 years anniversary. That is something that I'm probably going to get, unless I have most of the films. Movie Chatter says Vinegar Syndrome partner labels have been really great. I'm checking them now every month. Yeah, it's another thing to put money into, but I'm excited for Vinegar Syndrome and what they've been doing. I actually picked up the other day. I got From Beyond, Lovecraft's From Beyond, so I was very excited about this. I was talking with Sam about this. I'm very excited about that. Let's see. SGS says, another basketball question. Which current player has the best chance to break LeBron's new all-time scoring record? Luka Doncic, maybe, if he plays a long time without too many injuries. Yeah, that's a tough one, because I feel like LeBron is an anomaly because obviously he's played so long and he's collected all those points. Although it is a high-scoring game now, so depending on injury, like you're saying, I think Luka is a really good contender, I guess, to say that. Other high-scoring point guards and I can't really think of any other ones that, at least in the current NBA, that can maybe get there. I'm sure there's a couple of other ones that are just escaping my mind. If anyone's watching basketball here, you tell me what you think. Film blogger Sam's, my release of the year is Working Class Goes to Heaven from Radiance. Blew my mind. Yeah, no, I'm being very excited to have that in my collection. Have they announced the set or just teased it? They're asking about the Vinegar Syndrome. Aaron says, we got basketball fans here, the Nuggets. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, the Nuggets are also a really big contender. I would love to see them go to the finals, too, in the West. That would be fantastic. I would love to see them go there. Just teased, David, but confirmed halfway Black Friday sale. So, yes, there's going to be a 10-film collection from Vinegar Syndrome, but it's just been teased so far. SJS says, I'm really looking forward to having 2 Marguerite Duras films coming from Criterion this month, although not sure when I'm going to get them. They're both masterpieces, especially India Song. Yeah, I'm excited about the current releases from them. So, yeah, Criterion's been putting out good stuff as well, and it's been really fun to see. So, anyway, I know I'm losing some people with the basketball talk, I'm sure. But, I know a good number of you are basketball fans, which is hilarious. But for everyone else who's watching this, kind of tell me some of the things that you're interested in this year. I would love to hear some of your thoughts on, like, what Blu-ray collecting in 2023 looks like. I think this is another thing that I have really been thinking a lot about is just like where are we in the space just with how the world's kind of turning out, because obviously I know I mentioned earlier where we're really kind of switching gears to 4K, and boutique labels are really kind of the focus right now, at least in a lot of our worlds. And so I think it is really interesting to kind of think of, we're having shipping delays, we're having price increases, we're starting to think a little bit more about like what we're spending money on. And I think it is something that we should all be talking about a little bit more and thinking about. So you know and it really is just something to realize, especially when it comes to like what I've been dealing with, is like I've been dealing with the fact that, like, I transitioned to a new job about half a year ago, a little bit more than that, and I got to support that, and I got to support these hobbies. And so it's always interesting to think where you're at currently and like what you're doing, and then also finding time to watch these things, because I've only seen about 67% of the collection I have. I don't know about all of you, but I've seen about two-thirds of the movies that I own, which is not the greatest record to have. I'm sure a lot of you might have different records here. Um, but I mean, I am obviously wanting to watch all of them eventually and rewatch films and have that experience and that joy about this entire thing, right? So it'll be very interesting to think about kind of what's coming down the line, and what's coming in the community, but also at the same time what we're collecting. So anyway, back into the comments, and also if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. um, let's see. Film Collector Archive says bronze record will likely stand forever with load management and injuries these days. No one is touching it. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts too, is like he's been there for so long, and it's just really hard to get to that. It'll be interesting to see where the physical media is in 5 years. We are in a golden age. It will not last forever. We need to enjoy it while it lasts. I'm in agreement with that. I think it's definitely we're in a good spot right now. I think we're in a really good spot. Although it is just with I think just with economic forces, I do think it is kind of slightly like in a tilt, maybe with budgets. I think not so much when it comes to releases, because I think we're at an all time high when it comes to these companies, putting a lot of care and attention into these things, and I love that. I love that about this entire thing. So I'm glad that they're doing that. Um, let's see. Film blogger said Blu-ray collecting looks the same as it did last year, even though I can't really afford to. I'm weak, and yeah, I am also weak, and I feel like this year I've actually only, let's see. I know I talked about from Beyond, some recent things I picked up from Beyond. I did pick up the Severin box sets, House of Psychotic Women, right here, which I also picked up. I can't grab it. It's going to be down here. Whoa. This came in the mail finally. The the Michael J. Murphy box set, which I'm excited about. Heard really good things about. But besides that, I really have not really picked that much up. The other thing I have here is the Ju-On collection, which I pre-ordered back in the day from Arrow. And so that finally came over here. And then I have some Radiance films coming eventually. So that's kind of what some of the newer stuff is coming my way. Let's see. Tidbit says 2 larger YouTubers are releasing films this year in the community, Cool Duder and Stuckman. Yeah, no, I remember Stuckman's been working on a film for a long time. I remember Stuckman is actually one of the inspirations for like this channel back in the day. I used to wanting to come up here and just talk about just a single movie and talk about that, but it kind of transitioned to this collecting thing, which is even more exciting and fun. But yeah, that'll be cool to see. And Cool Duder has been around forever too. I know that. Goose says, I'm taking a break from collecting at the moment. It's been hard to not buy new stuff, and it's been great to get through more of my watch list and appreciate what I already have. Yeah, and that's kind of the mentality I've been trying to put in my own corner. Finishing this Ingmar Bergman set, I know if any of you who are watching me, that's what I've been doing this last month and a half, 2 months now. It'll be done by the time at the end of this month. I'll have a video up talking about my journey through that. I've also been watching Bleach, which I started, back in November when I was talking about anime. I have like 80 episodes left or something like that. So I'm going through a lot of like big things, and I want to make sure I can finish it because I don't want to start something and just leave it alone for a long, long time. And that's another thing too. That's a whole nother topic. Is how many of us start and stop stuff? There's a lot of things, and I want to watch standalone movies all the time. So it's always fun to see that. So anyway, or think about right what we're interested in at the time. Let's see. Tidbit Kid says both will be Blu-ray released. Hope to support those since love them or hate them. They have stayed with the test of time, which is hard. Not doing a project of their own. Yeah, talking about Cool Dude and Stuckman. It'll be interesting to see what they do, and I'm excited too. Let's see. Oh, Mike's here. Gray in 1951 says 3,000 subs. How did that happen? It snuck up, honestly. I feel like I have kind of been in a weird plateau because I kind of jumped off of YouTube for a little bit, just dealing with work and life and all that stuff, traveling and stuff. You go in these ebbs and flows, and I know a lot of you are also content creators. I know you go through these things too. But it is something that weirdly just happened slowly over time. I'm definitely not like trying to clickbait anyone into buying or watching things so I can get as many people as possible. I try to make things that I genuinely want people to see that I'm passionate about. So not that there's anything wrong with clickbaity things. It's just not my thing. So anyway, I'm glad that you're here. And Movie Chatter says, seems like things are going out of print faster, which pushes us to feel the need to grab them while available. Yeah, I've noticed that too, especially when it comes to imprint films. I really wish that I could get into imprint more. It's just too cost prohibitive for me to get into it unless it's a big box set that I kind of care about, right? Especially the Zhang Yimou, the Jim Sheridan box set, the House of Hammer, etc. Even these silly after dark. That was me being FOMO. I felt that. I felt like they were going out of print, and so I'm like, I need to get that. And that is something that is really interesting to think about too. Is like the out of print bug catches all of us. I feel like. Let's see. Film Collector Archive says, please let me know what you think of that Murphy set. I love Enemy Carrier so much, but that one does not seem to be calling my name. Yeah, it definitely seems like an oddball one, especially. But then also, if you think about how Indicator is set up and thinking more about the British focus of it, it's going to be interesting to kind of see what comes from it. I've heard some good things from some people. They enjoy it. So I'm excited about it too. And I've been enjoying, their stuff. So, anyway, let's see. Nice. Are you gonna watch the new arc of Bleach? Yes. The 1,000 Year Wars. I'll eventually get to that. So yes, I will get to that. I got myself all the manga sets. That's awesome. Yeah, I used to collect manga back in the day. Manga. I don't know. Anyway, I just don't anymore. I just other things to collect. But I'm glad that you got some of those. Ronnie says, I hope we see more streaming services, TV series released on physical. Drives me nuts not to be able to own some of my favorites shows on Blu-ray, especially with like how they are disappearing from streaming. Yeah, I agree. Like a good example of stuff that I really, really love that I would love to own on physical media, like What We Do in the Shadows is one that I really love. I would love to have. Always Sunny. It's kind of an afterthought now to put it on physical release. But like if you think about, the editing that Always Sunny has had, like you don't have the original unless you have the original discs. Like you don't have those episodes, which is wild. But yeah, I would like to see more TV shows on physical disc too. That would be a lot better. I just showed my teenager The Fog yesterday. It went over well. He's a big horror fan. The Fog is fantastic, and I watched that for the first time. I don't know if Daniel's still in here, but I watched it over at his place, and wow, that was a fantastic time. I'm glad to have it on Blu-ray now. I bought it on Blu-ray, didn't think about how it's coming to 4K, so I didn't even think about it. So Sam said The Fog is probably top 3 Carpenter for me. It's the creepiest movie for me for sure. Yeah, The Fog is definitely like a big surprise for me. I'd have to think about it, but it probably is in my top 5. Probably, I don't know. The Thing's number 1. That's all I know. Let's see. Cinema Dave says, "Are you excited for any Criterion releases coming out this year? I'm looking forward to picking up Thelma and Louise, Target's Petite Maman, and many others." Yeah, I like especially that May lineup we were talking about earlier. Targets is the one that I'm most excited about out of those bunch. But it'll be awesome to get Thelma and Louise as well on 4K. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Criterion and seeing what they do. It's going to be a mixed bag though. With I know that Elliot talked about how it was up and down. You know, like are they going to be doing more popular releases, or are they going to be sticking to kind of the more art house films that they've always done? So I like a good mix of both. You know, so Aaron says, what is a boutique label?" So a boutique label is like these things next to me. Actually, this entire closet is filled with it. But I'll just use Criterion as an example. I'll put up I'll put up Afterlife right here. So Criterion is a boutique label right there. You can see their name, the C. It says the Criterion Collection on the side. So boutique labels are special, like independent, labels that are either restoring some discs. Sometimes they work with that, or they have older films, and they have different niches, right? So some of them deal with horror, some of them deal with like art house films, or international pictures. There are all sorts of different boutique labels, but they're outside the studio, right? So mostly the studios are not involved very much. If they are, it's more of a rights thing. And so, but they give it to these boutique labels, and they put it out on disc. And usually they spice it up. They either do restoration work themselves, or they have some kind of source. They add some special features to it, and that's the best way I can describe a boutique label. I'm sure other people have different ways to describe it. If you want to tell Aaron more about it, that would be what it is. But it's usually things that aren't really talked about as much, although there are a lot of releases that are really popular, like RoboCop or The Thing, that have boutique labels, right? Or have boutique releases. So anyway, let's see. Mike says, lately I've been using more of the Criterion channel, which is a good way to save money. I wish I used that channel more. I had to put it away couple of months ago, just mainly because I just wasn't utilizing it as much, and I just don't want to be wasting money. But then again, like if I had it in front of me all the time, and I was watching it more regularly, I would definitely go through that. But I feel like that's the song and dance with every streaming service for everybody, right? But yeah, I love the Criterion channel. Highly, highly recommend it for people, especially if they're checking out things for the first time. It's a great source. I love that. I still have the metal card though, Stu. So I'm still one of the first members there. Movie Chatter says, I find streaming to be a great way to cut down on blind buys. Agreed. Yeah, that definitely helps a lot, especially if we can find it. Like I know Shudder has a lot of really great releases on their service that also have physical releases. But like when I watch it on Shudder, I'm like, I can decide whether or not I want it or not on physical release. Cinema Dave says, totally agree with your thoughts on about Criterion. And then they're saying hi to Steph to each other. Yeah. All right, Goose says, any plans to get the 4K Three Colors trilogy at all? I'm really excited for the upcoming Curzon release of it in the UK, which looks gorgeous. It does look gorgeous. I've only seen the art on it, and I don't really know much else. I would love to get it because I do love Kieslowski, and those films they're due for a rewatch for me. I've only seen them once each, and it was some years ago when I watched them. And I really love those films. And Kieslowski is just a fantastic director. And anyway, I might get that release. Anyone who does get it, let me know and let me think about it. And then Film Collector Archive, I commented on Elliot's video yesterday. I love Criterion and always will, but I do feel like they're resting on their laurels a bit. Yeah, I agree. I do think that they are holding back a little bit, or at least putting out more popular films. But like I said earlier, I honestly think it's an economic decision. I think, especially when we're entering a world where like it's a little bit, unless it's like a horror film, which I know all of us are like pretty big on horror. They have their fans and their legions of fans, but I feel like films that are like a little bit less known, maybe not as big. I mean, I feel like we've all developed into that, which is great, and I'm glad to be a part of that, and I hope everyone else is happy about that too. But I do feel like they are sitting it with the financial decision to try to put out some more popular releases just to get a little bit more money and sustainability. I don't know, but I like a little bit of both. I'm a fan of both. I like popular releases, and then also at the same time, I also would like to have my art house films from them and things I haven't seen before. So I'm a little bit on both. So Cinema Dave says, have to drop off soon, but I'm so happy that I caught this live stream. So fun to see everyone here. All the best to you, and congrats on 3K. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Dave. It's great seeing you. I'm glad that you were able to stop by, and I'll be catching up with you soon. I like to do something with you soon. There's more collaborations. I feel like a lot of people here, I need to do more collaborations with you soon. It's been a while since I've been collaborating, so I definitely want to do some more of that stuff with all of you. And just feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or in the comment section. You can say here, like, hey, let's do something. I can try to figure it out and we can do it. So I would love to do that stuff. All right. Sam says Criterion are probably in crisis mode, making the smartest business decisions because they've let a bunch of people go not that long ago. I do remember that, and that is correct. I don't really know much of their situation, but I do remember hearing that news, which is really unfortunate. And it does make sense from a financial standpoint to do what they're doing right now. Not so much on the letting them go. That's a bummer, and I really wish that didn't happen. It just makes sense on like kind of what they're releasing. You know what I mean? So anyway, Move Chatter says have a 3:30 appointment, so I have to get going. Congrats on the 3K. So happy for you, and I'm glad I caught this live. So I love you. Love you too, Steph. And I hope that you and I are able to do something very shortly soon as well. I'm going to be wrapping this up in the next 10 minutes probably. So let's finish this off with a couple more questions. Anyone got anything for me? Movie related, music related, life related, how's things going in your world? Love to talk more about kind of what's going on in the world today. I feel I'm not going to sing some songs. SJS says favorite album of 2022. My favorite album of 2022, I actually have a podcast that I don't really talk about on here. I have a metal podcast that I do with my good friend Joseph. We call it Scouring the Depths. If you want to find it, it's on Spotify and also on Apple, where we talk about metal. And it's a metal podcast. And we just did our favorites of 2022. But I'll go ahead and tell you what my number one was, and that is Cult of Luna right here, this band, Cult of Luna. Their album that dropped in January stuck with me all year. The Long Road Home. Maybe I'm saying it right. Anyway, I love Cult of Luna, and they're a fantastic band. If you like movies and you like heavy music, I highly recommend people checking out Cult of Luna. They're a very cinematic band, and I've seen them live, and I freaking love them. It was some of the best. Let's see. Mike says, how do you feel about buying bootlegs on DVR? I found a DVD-R of the Criterion for Blast of Silence and have picked it up. They did a good job, but I have mixed feelings. I don't have any bootlegs that I know of. Maybe some anime. They might be some anime. In the past, I know I did buy Dragon Ball, all of like the DVD collection, the blue boxes that came out years ago, like 10 years ago or whatever. And those were not real. And so I contacted the seller like, oh, here's the money. And then they let me have it. And so I gifted those somewhere else, but I'm not huge on like bootleg, but like, if it's there and like, there's something like that and they did a good job, like I'm sure it's fine. Like I have some bootleg, let's see, hold on. Technically I have this, which this is not necessarily bootleg. It's cases. You've seen these guys, right? I got the Criterion editions of the Godzilla because the packaging on this is not great. And so I got these on eBay, and it comes with those. And really fantastic. I really wish that this kind of stuff was more readily available for people to utilize for their big sets that are in like plastic, like paper cases, right? So this is this is probably the only thing that I have that is a little bit more boutique like or bootleg like. So put those there. All right. What is your go-to film podcast? I don't really listen to film podcasts, which is odd because there are a few that I really would like. I will do a big shout out to, my friend on here, Daniel. He's got the Cobwebs podcast, and then also my friend Chris, who is not here right now. Inside the sequel, they have really fantastic podcasts, and I highly recommend both of them. They do a lot of really great stuff, and I'm sure a lot of you also probably deal a lot more with podcasts, and so does Sam. Sam has a great podcast too. I just haven't heard it in a bit. You know, uh, so anyway, there's a lot of really good podcasts, but I don't listen to it as much. What are some recommendations you guys have for film podcasts? So I would love to hear some more of your thoughts on that. Let's see. Ronnie says, "Have you started in on that Sony Pictures Classic set yet?" No, but I've been eyeing that. That's the set that I actually am thinking about going into kind of next. I'm trying to finish this Ingmar Bergman set, and I think I do kind of want a more random set like that to be my next box set that I kind of tackle. So I think I am going to go into that 30th anniversary box set, the Sony Pictures. I'm eyeing it right over there. But yeah, no, that set looks really, really fantastic. So I think I might do that. So Ronnie, this one is going to be for you. I'm gonna watch that. Next, favorite Dragon Ball character. Mine have always been Vegeta, and since Dragon Ball Super, Whis and Barris have become two of my favorites too. I actually met Whis' voice actor, the English one, at that Comic Con. I met with Doug. He's a really cool dude. And then also Goku too, of course. My favorite character is Piccolo on Dragon Ball. I've always loved him. I really wish that they did more with him, or at least gave him a little bit more power up. I don't know. Piccolo is always a really great redeeming character in that show as well. Just like Vegeta. Vegeta's great too. And then for villains, I actually really love Android 17. Even when GT was existed, I love seeing Super Android 17. Still my two favorite episodes of that show is the Super Android 17 arc. So let's see. Film Collector Archive says, I have a bootleg German copy of The Hitcher. I will be very excited to give that one up soon. Is that the Ida Lupino one? Because I have the Kino Lorber of that one over here. Murdersville says, are there some movies you don't get that you return in the hope that you will one day? Yeah, there are a few. A good one that came to my mind years ago that I did not like when I first watched, and I eventually finally watched it again years and years later and was like, okay, this is a movie that I actually like. I've grown up a little bit more, and I also want to like see something like that, and that is Social Network. I did not like Social Network at all when I first watched it. I kind of hated it actually. And then other than that, there's probably quite a bit of films in my collection, especially like some B movies, or at least some movies that like today I watched. Let's see, what's the Bergman film that I watched? Brink of Life, which is definitely a middle tier Bergman film. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it talks about these women who are all in a ward, like a maternity ward, and they're about to give birth, and they're thinking about their struggles that they're going through as they're trying to prepare for this thing, and it just wasn't clicking with me, even though I was like thinking about it and like kind of looking at it a little bit closer and thinking like this is a good movie, but like it's just not hitting me today, and so that's something that I also am a little bit more aware of these days is like what's my mood, right? Like I have things where I want to watch something where I'm in a mood. At the same time, like I want to challenge myself and like put something that's like uncomfortable in front of me and watch it. So anyway, that became a whole thing just now. Marcus says, "What's your top three MOC releases?" MOC. Help me out on that one, if anyone. Maybe it's not clicking in my head. Aaron says, David says hi. Hey man, that's I say hi to David as well. It's been a while. So love you guys, and I miss you both. So let's see. Masters of Cinema is what that. Oh, so Eureka. Yeah. So my top three Masters of Release cinema releases would probably be, off the top of my head, Johnny Guitar. You can kind of see it. You probably can actually right here. There it is right there. Johnny Guitar is probably one of my favorites. El Grande Silencio, the Great Silence, is another one. And then, hmm, hmm. Hard to say, but from what I've seen, I really enjoyed the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. That new release is great. But I'm also enjoying a lot of their kung fu releases. One Arm Boxer I have from them is really fantastic as well, and some of their old classic stuff too. But yeah, I want to get more Masters of Cinema. I also really love their like mini Columbia, Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi sets. I love those things so much. The horror sets, the Universal horror sets. Those are just so cool. I love those movies. I want more of those. Send me more of those. Anyway, back to this. The Hitcher, not the Hitchhiker. Sheesh. Come on, Nathan. My bad. He's talking about the movie that's about to come out from Second Sight. I messed up. Ronnie says, I think I have a DVD, bootleg DVD of Gleaming the Cube, which rules. I bought it from Amazon, but does not look a legit release. You know what? I just thought of it when you said that. I think I honestly have. I think I have a bootleg release of The Pianist, because that was a really hard to find Blu-ray years ago. Now I know that Shout Select put it out, I believe. But I have a weird copy of it. Definitely has Mandarin on the back. So maybe that is a boutique. Maybe that is a bootleg release. I don't know. Holland Oat says favorite standalone 3 hour long movie. Damn it, you said standalone because I would have just easily said Lord of the Rings here. 3 hour plus movie. You know what? That's a hard one. I don't know. Lawrence of Arabia's up there as one of the best epics ever. Another one, you know what? This is just a recency bias, and I really love it for this reason. But I really enjoyed Satan Tango, and I know Sam's going to say, like, what are you on when I said that? But I was in a very good spot with some good friends. We watched it all together, and yeah, I watched Satan Tango, and that's a 7.5 hour movie. So it is a slog to get through, but I had a good time. So anyway, Aaron says, get a gaming chair. What are you sitting on? I don't want to talk about it. I'm just sitting on like, just a kitchen chair. Like the gaming chair won't fit in here. Like this is not a big space. I have to have something like this. My gaming chair is over there. Fisher King Criterion coming out soon. Yes, I've been wanting to. I haven't seen the Fisher King. I know there's an old Blu-ray release from Criterion that's about to come out on 4K, so I might as well get that one of all things. So anyway, I'm actually going to wrap this up in the next 3 minutes. And yeah, if you have any final questions or thoughts on this whole thing, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And as I'm kind of wrapping this up, I just wanted to say that I'm so thrilled and so happy that all of you are here. And at various stages of my life, there's several of my friends on here who've known me for a very long time. And I'm just happy. I'm just happy to have known all of you and keep knowing you. Of course, it sounds morbid when I say that. And I'm just happy to see where things go. And I've always been, in a space where I just kind of go with the flow with things. And so with this whole collection thing, this whole Blu-ray community, this whole YouTube thing, it's going to be here for a long time, and I plan on being here for a bit. And I've always enjoyed just talking about films with my friends, and I've made a lot of friends from just doing this, and I've traveled to see friends that I've met for the first time just in this space, which is just really crazy to me. I'm probably going to be coming for you next, Steph. I know you're not in right now, but I probably should be coming in your neck of the woods over there sometime in the near future. But this is just it's a great place to be, and I'm so happy that all of you kind of give a shit about these things, and then also watch me, which is still wild to me to think about how people like are here and wanting to watch what I'm saying about whatever movie or whatever's going on. I appreciate it, and I hope that you get a little bit of something from it. And I always enjoy seeing all of you as well in the comments, the movies and the videos that you put out. Not movies. I don't know how many of you have made movies, but anyway, there's a lot of really great people here, and I love this space, and I can't wait to continue this in the future. A few more comments before we leave.
SGS says, as you liked Satan Tango, I'd highly recommend 2 other films from Bellatar, Workmeister Harmonies, which I've also wanted to watch for some time, and Damnation. Just watch the former, and it's a bleak masterpiece. Yeah, I've only seen The Turin Horse and Satan Tango, but I've enjoyed both quite a bit, and I definitely have to be in a mood for those things because those are really tough movies to watch. Anyway, SJS says, really enjoyed the stream. Thanks, Nathan. These streams are always the best and are the blast. They're always a blast. Yes. Well, it's always good seeing you, my friend. Once again, same Film Collector Archive. David, great stream, buddy. Love you, man. It's good seeing you. Low frequency. I love movies you recommend. I appreciate that. I hope I recommend some good ones. I should definitely get back to more of kind of what I'm watching and the random things that I've been collecting. I should do that more. Tell me what I should be. Tell me some of the types of videos that you've enjoyed in the past. Some of your favorite types of videos that I've done. Obviously, I want to do what I'm doing, but I also love kind of the feedback. I want to see like kind of what you guys enjoy as well. That's always fun to see. Seth says, big pimpin' over here. I have a feeling I know who you are. So anyway, I love you, my friend. Sam says, cheers, pal. Great stream. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're staying up for this. It's not that late over there. And then Bernie says, have a good one. Congrats. I appreciate it, man. I truly do. It's good seeing you, my friend. Ronnie last says, congrats again on the 3K. You're a great presence on YouTube and really appreciate it. I really appreciate that from everybody, honestly. And then Seth, of course, gives me the devil eyes because he knows exactly what's going on. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching this. As I always say, give it a like, comment down below, all that goodness and stuff. I'm always appreciative of all of you being here and supporting me over the years. I know I'm sounding like a broken record right now, but I truly am humbled by all of you and in the continued support that you guys give me. And then also at the same time, I hope I also support you guys as best as I can as well. Watching your content, interacting with all of you. It's always been a blast. So I'm going to end the stream here. Love you too, buddy, Aaron. And we're going to say, have a great rest of the day. Have a great weekend, everyone. And if I don't see you, I hope you have a great morning, good night, all that stuff from Truman Show. I'm buying time here. I'm not jonesing around. See you, everyone.